Okay, so
Hey guys, we're just gonna back it up real quick. We didn't realize the video zooms in more after we start it.
So, hey.
Hi.
This is Nick. This is Nick.
That's Nick.
Well, it might be because I do have kind of the same hairdo.
I am Nick.
I am Mary, and we are TruFitness. You can't see it completely there because it's a little cold in the gym. But we are excited because every Wednesday, it is our mission and our goal here at TruFitness to bring you guys some conversation in the health and wellness, fitness industry that we're a part of. And we just want to continue to grow our tribe here, and we just think it's super important to continue to talk about our concept, which we believe is completely different than what's out there, and our mission. And so today we're going to talk about the ultimate question, defining fit. Right?
Awesome. Yeah, so we're planning on doing this every single week, like Mary had mentioned. So you guys will get a variety of topics that just kind of help dig deeper into our concept, what we're about, and kind of some of the main things that are out there in wellness. So when we speak of this topic, defining your fit, if I asked Mary right now to define what fit is, what would you say, Mary?
Well, Nick, let me tell you, because it's changed over my decades. And if most of you listening may not know who we are and our background, but Nick is like a half the century of myself. I've just turned 50 and you've 26?
26.
And he's 26.
Yep.
So I'm just going to say quickly, for me, back when I was in this stage of the game, and definitely through my 30s, for me, fit meant, because I've been an athlete my whole life. I had a gymnastic background. Then even through my babies, I still, stayed fit. I ran, I still competed, and I did all those things. So for me, growing up, I was defined as a gymnast. I had the gymnast, thick, powerful body, rocked the muscles, just that was who I was forever. And so I had constantly always been trying to live up to that for me. And even I still battle with that sometimes. There's like, like gymnasts in me today, doing handstands with all our fun, little nuggets that come in here. But honestly, it was super aesthetically driven for most of my life. To the point where sometimes it did get me in trouble too. I mean, I did some unhealthy things in my life, and I write about that in my book, and things that I'm not proud of, but it just happened because I listened to the world, and being a woman and having these pressures that we bring on ourselves about that perfect body. So I've been through it. However, turning this age, and in the last couple of years, it has shifted. I still want to have a really good, I want to be that role model and have a good aesthetic body, live that standard of a fitness trainer and an athlete. However, my goal is to be internally healthy. And I don't want to be on medicines. And so I write all the time in my journal, I do not want to be on medication. I want to live life of longevity, but a quality of life. So for me, it's taking care of me from the inside. And I feel if I provide my body with the right foods and a little glass of red wine every once in a while, a little bit of chocolate here and there, and I do all of the best that I can for my body, I think I will then have the benefits of that fit looking body. So for me, that's where I'm at.
So it's no longer the physical component, a little
as
more
much,
comprehensive.
As much. I'm at probably 85% of like the internal health, because I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I mean, that's why I think people like coming in here, one of the reasons. But no, I am definitely driven more with what can I put in my body that's healthy, and so that I can serve that part of my life better.
Yeah. And I would say for me, so fit as somebody who kind of the same realm, growing up playing, every sport they possibly could, and then having parents that encourage them to play sports. I was blessed for that because it helped me keep a fit figure and a fit frame. I mean, I was a really skinny kid when I was in 8th grade, but as soon as I hit the weights, it was easy to see gains because I was driven and I was a hard worker. So in my generation, when we think fit, the most typical example, fitness model. You think fitness model on Instagram, you're like, I got to have 8 abs and a bicep on top of my bicep to be considered, one of the fitness
perfect
girls.
V cut,
Yeah,
right?
the perfect V cut, the perfect waistline, everything along those lines. So there is that aesthetic value. But honestly, in my mind, you know, there's three folds to it. There's being physically fit, and that does go along the lines of the aesthetic value to some extent. But it's also feeling fit. So when you're physically fit, you know, it's knowing that you can do one more rep than you did the week before. It's knowing that you can, you know, your max for your bench press or your squat has gone up in recent memory. So those are aspects that I tie into the physically fit as well. Top pillar is emotionally fit. So making sure that, you know, you got your head on straight. We talk about all this mindset stuff within TruFitness, and, you know, it's making sure that you implement some of those elements that we'll touch on here in a minute, like being patient, having motivation, being disciplined, so you are consistent when you're in the gym. So you are, you know, making sure that you're caring about your exercise, that you're prioritizing it higher than, you know, things that don't necessarily matter as much or shouldn't matter as much. It's all about where you're putting your head and putting your mind. And then I think the third aspect of that, so along with the physical and the emotional, is the mental. So mental fitness. I differ that from emotional a little bit because I think mental can kind of overshadow both of them. It's kind of like that mental toughness, that mental fortitude, staying driven, along with some of those points that I just mentioned. But kind of the way that I differ it is, I guess, mental really oversees the physical component. We can look at ourselves on a Monday and think, oh, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm not feeling well. And we can look at ourselves Friday, where we've seen no aesthetic changes, the same physical body, and we can have different self-talk. We can talk to ourselves in a more positive manner. So I don't necessarily tie that to the emotional, but that's the mental side that overlooks the physical. That mental side can also overlook the emotional. You could, you know, have really sad, traumatic events happen in your life, but if you tell yourself the next day things are going to get better, you look on the bright side, and you kind of revamp the way that you're thinking about things, you can have use that mental fortitude to help your emotional well-being. So that's how I kind of tie the three components together on what it means to be fit. And, you know, I'm still a young guy. I'm 26 years old.
I'm still a young lady.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people within my generation especially look at that physical component, and we're so consumed in social media and magazines, and it definitely trickles up. We see, you know, the adult population has totally followed suit and took over Facebook from the young crowd, and I think the same thing will happen with Instagram soon. We learn from one another, and that's the way that our society is going. So it makes it easier to see fit bodies on a daily basis, to see, you know, these fitness influencers who think that the thing that's going to get them the most attention, the thing that's going to get them the most followers is the 8-pack abs.
For sure.
So that's what they showboat. They don't
touch
touch
on
on
the world, and, you know, who's got, you know, all of that going on.
And we know with our concept especially, we want to touch more on that mental side of it.
For sure. Mental and internal. And let me, before we get to that,
For sure.
Because I want to touch on something that's totally huge, and you guys might be thinking, well, you know, Nick, you're just, you know, talking out your ass about things and how you just define fit. But I've worked with him, you know, for several years now, and he has a completely different outlook on fitness, though. Really, I mean, I would have to say a more mature look, because he is in this business. So you've had the opportunity, you've read books, you've been around mentors older and who've been around, you know, for a while. So, and because you have these relationships with our clients, and we're on that daily conversation with them and that daily journey with them of trying to get them into the mental mindness aspect. And so you've learned that firsthand a lot faster than I'm sure so many of your friends and maybe your family members and just your generation in general. So props to you for already being where I wasn't. That's for darn sure back then, you know. So that's a cool thing. But again, it's wanting to change that conversation in your mind, and it's wanting to do what you did and change the mindset. And listen, and we're both human, and we're going to tell you that all the time. There's times where I'm sure you walk in and you're like, oh, dragging ass, and you know, the conversation of oh, well, I feel a little thick and chubby and this and that.
Yeah.
That's just natural, and that's just going to happen. But you know, but it's cool to hear, and I'm looking forward to Nick inspiring this generation. Him and Caitlin are around the same age, and Caitlin's not here today for this episode, but I love to have these two guys here because it's so important. This next generation and the other generations coming in are bombarded with just what we talked about on social media, especially, this aesthetically driven, perfect body. If you don't have this ass, and if you don't have this, stomach and these legs and these lean, this and that, and it's just messing with everybody's mentality of fit and what fit should be. So from that, let's go back into the self-talk and the mental, the mindset, because that is a huge factor of what we do here.
Yeah. So it's important for you, just like we just did here, to define your own fit, because maybe it's different than ours. Everybody's got a different definition of what every word could be, what every phrase could be.
For sure.
So define your fit. Think about the things that are most important to you, and we'll kind of give you some pointers as we finish up this episode. So when we talk about the mental side of things, and I think our SEALs who come in and teach our mindset workshops definitely pay attention to our page and look at when their next one's going to come about. We currently don't have that scheduled, but we'll get it up there soon. When our SEALs come in, they talk about, it's kind of 4 different things, all interrelated a little bit. But it's the mental side. They talk about motivation, discipline, and consistency. So we'll touch on each one of those a little bit. So mental is kind of the overseer, like I said. Mental can oversee all those things. We can kind of choose what our attitude's going to be on a daily basis. And that's something that I told myself 2 days ago that I was going to wake up and just be in a better mood.
Sure.
And it worked. I mean, these last 2 days I've been in an overall good mood when I was dragging some ass. Dragging some ass, the couple weeks before that.
And let me note with that too, what's super important about his plan of action and changing that mental attitude, guys, what is so important along with that is the environment in which you are in. And if that environment that you're in is not supportive and connecting to these kind of goals that you have, I mean, if you can't sit down at home with your spouse or with your friends or whoever are in that inner circle that you call your friends and your go-to, and that tight-knit circle, if they're not willing to give you the truth, lay it on the line, but at the same time be supportive and go, you know what, yeah, Nick, because when he comes in here, we've made it the point to, if any one of us is dragging ass or if something's going on, like, you have to communicate. You have to be like, all right, yep, dragging ass. It's the same thing we do with the clients. Hey, what's going on? You have a bad attitude? I have taken several clients out the door. I said, you know what, we're going to redo this. We're going to walk back in. We're going to leave the baggage at the door. Whatever the problem is, we're stepping over the line into the gym, and now we're going to have a completely different attitude, right? Because why are you here? What do we need to accomplish today to make you feel and look and all of that, and just be better you than you were before you came in? So that's important, along with that whole mental goal setting, is to make sure that your environment is healthy. And if it's not, it's okay to let people go. And that's something I've learned, and you learn that as time goes by, that you don't have to cater to all this nonsense, the people that you're not benefiting from, and if they're not helping you and supporting you get to those places you want to be, don't let them drag you down. Like, you can delete them. I'll see you later. Maybe next time another part of my life will connect, and then maybe we won't. And that's okay. You don't want to waste time with people who aren't supportive of you. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah, having that environment will help you stay motivated. And that's why we call our folks the tribe at TruFitness. A tribe sticks together. A tribe...
Through thick and thin, no matter what. Never leave anybody behind.
Holding one another accountable.
For sure.
If you're not connecting well with your trainer, then we hope to God you're connecting well with someone at the gym, or we hope you have friends at the gym. Which leads me, I'm going to give shout outs throughout this, but shout out to a couple of our members. Sharon Miller, huge shout out, because your children are coming in here because of you.
Oh my gosh.
And that's awesome.
Every single day that woman is not only here in the beginning of the day to support her healthy habits and want to get better, and she's also pushing through some injuries, and she can't stand, vocally she said, I don't want to do physical therapy, and I hate being in this position where I have to modify everything. But that's where the patience comes in,
Yeah.
and that's where the consistency. She's still coming in. She's not going, oh, well, the doctor told me to never do this and never do that. She's like, no, I'm still coming in. And with that, she's bringing her children in here. I mean, what an example of, hey, mom's hurting, I'm going to power through. I'm going to come back later in the evening. And I love to watch them, even if they don't do any of the workouts on the board. They're punching the bag and just, they're having fun. They're having family time. Totally awesome.
It's awesome. It's different than most other people's idea of family time, to come to the gym together as a family, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, for sure.
And so many of you other members are holding one another accountable. You're bringing friends in. We had a trial member, Hannah, who brought in 4 friends on Tuesday.
And
It's awesome.
Hannah's only worked out with us twice, and all of a sudden 4 of her work buddies came in, and we were like, so that was super cool.
So, thanks, both of you, for that.
Katie Harlow, I mean, hello, the
Absolutely.
entire, town of Cary.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
thank you for all of that.
Absolutely. So that goes along with the motivation piece. I mean, if you're surrounded by people you want to be around, and it's not going to take much after you step foot into the gym to get going.
Yeah.
It's easy to get you motivated once you see those friendly faces, once you have people who are patting you on the back, have people who are supportive. So don't sit down in the dumps. If you've been out of the gym for 2 weeks and you're dreading coming back and you're waiting and you're sitting there on your couch, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
That moment you do come back, you will realize, why did I wait this long? That'll be the first thing that you say to yourself. So that goes along with the motivation piece. Find your motivation. The other 2 pieces, which right along there we tagged on, discipline and consistency, which I kind of interrelate. So discipline is having the mental toughness and the mental strength to keep coming back even when you're not having your best day.
For sure.
That is what it means to stay disciplined. You might have a little bit of an injury. Know that we can modify for you. I know Terry's been struggling with that hamstring.
Oh, yeah.
We modified 2 workouts today and you did fine. Tomorrow looks a little intense for you, but we'll be okay. We'll make it through.
And that's the beauty of what we do here. No matter what is written on our metabolic board, our strength board, the members know that come in. We have over 600 muscles in the body, and even we've had clients who were in boots for weeks on, and we still need you to come in here. We still need to stay conditioned in the mind and have that good mindset, and then we still have to stay conditioned with the body. And there's so many things we have the ability, because this is what we do here. We are all about you guys. And so, Terry, for instance, or even Sharon, there's been times where we've literally had to almost create a whole different workout plan. But that's okay. That's what we do. And why wouldn't we want to do that? That's if no other gym or trainer is taking care of you fully, shame on them. I mean, but that's what you're going to get when you come in here, and that goes along the lines of anybody who's still watching us on social media and, has reached out to us and said, well, I want to come in. I've tried this gym, that gym, and, well, I'm old. Well, what do you mean you're old? Well, I'm 47. Then there's that whole, well, what does that mean? To me, again, that's a mindset thing. But if you're teetering on, I really want to get fit, I want to get back healthy, but you're holding back because of all of these past things that have happened in your life. Maybe you squatted again and again and again at other places and you kept getting hurt. You've had illness, whatever the case may be, you guys have to just come in. Just let it go, walk in the door, let us know your history, where we can work with you on any given level of fitness. And one of the cool parts about our concept is that we are connected with wellness and health in this area, and we're connected to the top people. We've got Dr. Riley, MD, who does a holistic approach to medicine. He was in here last Saturday talking about feeding the body, to improve it and to actually cure lots of inflammatory diseases and issues. We've got 2 PTs that we work hand in hand with, massage. We've got a registered dietitian who's, that's her expertise, and she is super educated on basic nutrition, sports nutrition. She's an ultramarathon runner. So we have every aspect to get rid of your excuses so that you can't come in here and go, well, I blah, 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 blah. We're like, we have these people that can help you, right?
Yeah.
But you guys have to, it starts with the self-talk. I mean, it really does. I mean, we can talk ourselves out of so many things. I've done it. I'm sure you've done it. I mean, there's times where I'm like,
Definitely.
woo, gung-ho, and then I can sit there on the couch at home and go, well, Missy, you know, there's this, and that. But don't listen to that negative talk right there. Just come on in. We're going to help you goal set. We're going to help you get a better mindset, improve all of that.
For sure.
Get that discipline and that consistency rolling, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the little devil on my shoulder says a lot of things, and sometimes you just got to flick them off and brush them off. One of the biggest things, I mean, for all of you folks who are injured, you know probably about my past. I currently rock out, 2 herniated discs and 3 bulging discs, and this past week my back was killing me. I got a rib that's out of place, and it's causing a lot of shoulder pain too.
We've all stepped on his back numerous times.
Trying to crack that thing back in place.
Not any chiropractor probably doesn't want to hear.
No, hopefully there's no chiropractors watching. But with that being said, I took a week off working out, and I got back to it. I've worked out the last 2 days. Yesterday, only doing some time on the rower for cardio, but I feel better. I'm getting blood flow to the parts of my body that I need to be getting blood flow to, and I just can feel some of that pain relieving itself. I'm stretching out a little bit more after I'm exercising, trying to open up my thoracic spine and different things like that. But those are all things that you can do while you're still injured. There's safety exercises, there's corrective exercises that you can do if you are suffering from low back pain. If you have, that hamstring injury and its inflammation, we can bring that down. You can ice yourself, you can stretch it out a little bit once it starts feeling better. There's a lot of different things that you could do. So while your long-term goal might be jeopardized just a tad bit, while we suffer from an injury, we can revamp those short-term goals to help us reach that on a quicker level.
Right. And finishing up the conversation in the episode with that, just remember, you guys, that no matter what your goal is, that long-term, whatever that ultimate goal is, there's a whole process that happens in between, right? And it can't be rushed. Your journeys can't be rushed. You can't go from A and then expect to be over here at B at the end of the week and then have the attitude that, well, it didn't work out, this gym didn't work out, that trainer didn't provide this and that for me. It is a process, and you guys have to have the patience with the process, like we said. Then you have to develop the discipline to have the consistency to come in here, right? You have to have your definition of what fit truly means to you, right? And with that, you communicate that to us, because see, we're those trainers here that care about getting you to those goals. And we will help you, we will take you through those steps, but patience is a huge part of the process. And we're here to help you guys out with that, because that's our mission, that's our concept. We got everybody here available, and this tribe is awesome. We're just so fortunate to have and it continues to build because of all of you that keep talking about us to your friends and your family. But nobody's gonna let you slip through here. You're having that bad day. Couple had some crankiness last night, and we'll get you through it no matter what. Because you can't let life suck you in. Here's the thing: there's going to never be a perfect moment. And those of you that are sitting on the couch or watching us and think, well, I'm going to wait, for it's that Monday syndrome. Well, when Monday comes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to have my new shoes, I got my goals set, and Monday comes, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, like something altered it, and you're like, next Monday. Well, I'm sorry to say that we are not guaranteed tomorrow. You keep waiting for Monday might not show up, and now you've just wasted all of this time when you could have been healthier and wiped out a whole bunch of crappy things going on in your body, right? So don't wait. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, right?
More positive days than negative days. Let's shoot for more positive days in April, just overall. Try to make every day a positive day, or at least find something positive about each day.
Yeah. Read positive books. Watch positive motivational things. That's what I do every day. And when I'm working out in here, I'm not listening to music. I just put one of my favorite motivating...
We listen to enough of that with you guys.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got several, and we should start putting up maybe some books and YouTube videos and people that we follow to inspire you. Because believe it or not, like the normal population reads like one book a year. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because for those of you who have your own businesses or, starting a business or just have something that you're super passionate about, you should be reading at least 2 to 3 books a month. And that was part of my goal this year too, is like investing in more education in what I do here and investing more of my time into learning, because I'm always about learning. You know, I love to learn something new every day. I learn a ton from the clients. I learn from my, the trainers, and just in general. So read powerful books, self-help, self-healing. Turn off the TV. There's too much crap going on. All right?
Yeah.
I don't have a TV. So lucky for me.
I don't use my TV.
I couldn't even tell you what's on like TV nowadays, and I don't really feel like I'm missing out on anything.
This is us. This is us. This is what the clients want.
So watch us. Episode 1. We hope you like it. TruFitness. We're all about that flag back there, right?
America.
And come on in. This summer is going to be kicking butt. We're putting together our events list and lots of fun summer things. Denny's coming back in the house, so we're going to have another amazing leader in fitness. Just more education-based movements, competitions. We're going to start with some competitions. We're going to work out outside. Hopefully it's going to be warm out. And that's it. We won't waste any more of your time. Hopefully you watched this whole thing.
We tend to shoot for a goal on the minute side, and
I
then
don't even know where we're at.
overexceed it by
26 minutes.
By 14 minutes. So
Okay. Well,
it's all in one take though, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, we didn't have to redo. All right, kids. So define your fit. Those of you that are tribe members, we're going to put it on the private page, and I want to start seeing, either in conversation or maybe you have to give us like a 500-word essay as to
taking them back to school.
Totally kidding. You can just go on the Facebook page and just define your fit. But we're just curious. You know what? We just want to start conversation. Let's get talking about being fit and not being in all these crazy challenges that all these other, gyms are doing and challenging you for 12 weeks and 6 weeks here and then leaving you hanging, right? Because why should you challenge your body and your mind for only 12 weeks? 9 times out of 10, after that fact, you go back and sabotage it, and then here's your roller coaster of weight and mindset. Here in TruFitness, we're just teaching you to be ready every day for that awesome selfie, for the bathing suit, for summer, and to just have the ready mindset to tackle life, because life is not always gonna, give us happy unicorns and rainbows, unfortunately. So.
And I don't know if you have, but I haven't seen a definition of fit that involved drinking 6 shakes a day and no real food.
This is true. Yeah, that can be a whole other episode.
Patience, don't look for the quick stuff.
No quick fixes. They do not work. They're only quick. They're temporary. And just like a 12-week challenge, it's temporary unless you are the 1% who can just continue to carry it and move on. But chances are you're not at that moment. So yes, quick fixes. That's a good topic. We'll hit that in a couple weeks. All right, tribe and everybody beyond. You guys have a great Wednesday.
Later.